I get it. We all love watching a damn touring bike beat on a bunch of super bikes. As far as straight line acceleration goes, I really don't have an answer for you. But I have been coming back to Coda for the past few years now, so I have a good understanding on how the track flows. Even though we're all riding in the advanced group, we're all working on improving our riding. Some of us are new to Coda. We have people flying from all over the world to come ride this track. Plenty of riders from Mexico, Canada. Others may just have gotten promoted from experienced to advanced. Take for example my friend Andres. He's riding the 200 in front of me. And the last time we were at Coda, he was running mid to 20s and he was dusting me off, man. But now he's coming off a crash, so he's getting reacquainted with the bike, reacquainted with the track. So he's like 5 seconds off his normal pace. We did have a bunch of fast people, to include a bunch of racers. And even though this was my quickest lap of 2:24.3, I had a couple of these guys gaining on me fast. When it came to some of the Ducatis, I could catch them on the brakes sometimes, but they would demolish me on the straights, man. Those bikes are insanely powerful. And if it's not going to be a fast lap, you will see that I shift around 13,000 or so, but regardless of what I do, that Ducati is going to be roughly 30 miles an hour faster. And if there were any decent on the brakes, there was no way for me to make that gap. I mean, you can see this guy runs it a little bit deep, and I'm able to go around. You can see him shaking his head. He knew I was on his tail. And what happens a lot is that you get caught behind a competent rider, but you know you have a little bit more pace than them, and it becomes nearly impossible to pass them. But you know who had absolutely no problem passing me? This guy right here. This is Sean, and this guy is fast. Sean ran a 2:19.6, and that was the third fastest lap time of the weekend. That is elbow dragging material right there, and there is absolutely no way for me to keep this guy inside unless we hit some heavy traffic. He's backing it in, getting incredible drive, and me, I'm all over the damn place. But again, if there was a place where I could keep him honest, it was on the brakes. Coda is the perfect track to test your braking skills, where some of these bikes are doing over 190 miles an hour. I'm actually happy I don't have to brake from those speeds, or at least not yet. The main issue I had all weekend was the damn foot pegs, which I was still scraping. You could hear it right there. I scraped that on 1, I scraped on 11, I scraped on 16. I was touching down everywhere, so it just became an exercise of managing my lean angles. And then all those wheelies that I was doing, it kept knocking the camera forward. So I had some decent video that I wasn't able to use. Even after all these years, I'm still learning what works and what doesn't to get good video on track. Here I'm about to go out with Andres, but I just realized that I forgot to fuel up. And then as I'm about to go out, nope. Gotta wait your turn, buddy. You can always count on things not going to plan, that's for sure. Some of the best video I got all weekend was following this Ducati rider in front. Later I found out he's now in his 50s, but he used to be a racer on his early 20s, and that's a story with a lot of people here, man. They have some really interesting backgrounds. And this was the video that got over 1 million views on Facebook and got shared a ton of times. And there were so many people saying that they thought it was a video game, so I'll take that as a compliment. The bike itself performed exceptionally well, even though I was maxing out the front suspension. More on this on a future video, but I already posted a little bit on Facebook if you want to check it out. Aside from the mishaps that happen on every track day, it was an amazing weekend. Huge thanks to Ride Smart Motorcycle School for putting this event together, and even though we're not setting any lap records, it is an amazing experience and a privilege to be able to ride on such an amazing track. And guys, unfortunately I couldn't get good audio for the following clips, but there's some of the highlights that if you've gotten this far into the video, you will probably enjoy this as well. As always, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys on the next one. Quick after action review on the XR. We just got it off the track after 2 days of riding with Ride Smart Motorcycle School. I was running the Michelin Power Slick 2 and 2 days of abuse, and that looks pretty good. Even with the suspension pretty much maxed out, I was still dragging foot pegs. Only -1 turn, which is basically, I'm compressing that spring all the way. It shouldn't be that low, but I mean, there it is. And then we had this FP1 lap timer. This is a RFID, so they have a transponder on the track, so when you go by, it reads it, so the lap times are precise. We're not here to get lap times, but lap times is a good indication of progress. It's a good indication of how much you've been improving your lines and stuff like that, your body position, because if I don't do any body position on this bike, there's no way. I cannot do anything because I'm dragging everywhere. So I have to force myself to stick out of the bike, and of course I'm standing out really tall, so I have my body position looks a little bit outward, but I'm putting weight on the inside, and that's what matters. A 224.3, I think it was my best. And that is phenomenal, man. Everybody faster than that were either racers or some track machines, some B4s. It was a great weekend, man. Thanks to Coda, thanks to Ride Smart. I'll see you guys on the next one.